The 90s were full of amazing innovations. The tech industry, or big tech, was always one step ahead of what kids wanted. Except for one time. Rah! In the mid-90s, all kids wanted were round, cardboard, circular cutouts. Tubular! That's right, Big Kahunas, it's Pogs! Pogs! This week on This Was a Thing.
Remember Furby and the Lion King, Fuburini babies and World Wrestling, the Macarena, the Chevy Chase show, Showgirls, and the Rachel haircut. This was a thing bop. This was a thing bop. Bop. Also was a thing bop. Was a thing bop. This was a thing bop. This was a thing bop. This was.
Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Ray.
And you're listening to This Was a Thing, the podcast that dives deep into the cultural happenings of yesteryear.
All right, on today's episode, we're looking at Pogs. Yeah, this was a thing because enterprising people saw a way to bring in the big bucks from a little game that originated in Hawaii. It worked for glass marbles. Will it work for paper milk caps too?
Absolutely. I have faith in this.
Well, Pogs, or milk caps, if you're a boomer. We're like a flash in the pan, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to stop doing that, sorry.
Oh, I kind of like this character.
Well, you'll see him, don't worry. You're going to see him throughout the episode.
Thank God.
Of course. So they were kind of a flash in the pan in the mid-90s. They were collectible pieces of cardboard, and they ended up fading out because they got banned from schools because kids were playing for keeps, and that is essentially gambling.
I did that, though. I used to do that at recess.
I did it at recess as well, and I did it with marbles, too. I remember in 4th grade, my teacher only allowed us to bring a certain number of marbles, and I brought a whole bag of marbles, and she took the bag from me. And I learned not to repeat that lesson with Pogs.
She took your marbles.
Yeah.
Should we run back?
No.
Asshole.
I lost my marbles in 4th grade, everybody. Maybe that explains it.
Please continue.
This is the quintessential podcast on Pogs. All things Pogs. This was a thing. P-O-G-S. Oh my God, I just ate the microphone. I'm so sorry. So, it's a quote. They were cheap to manufacture, easy to understand, discreet, easily spreadable, and rooted in a shared collective memory.
Is this a Pog or a personal ad?
So that was said by historian Burl Burlingame, which is the best historian name I've ever heard in my entire life.
Every week you come to me with a name, and I'm like, you've made up these names, that these are not people's real names.
Burl Burlingame.
Okay, Burl.
He co-authored Coverama, the Collector's Guide to Antique Hawaiian Milk Covers.
What's it called? Coverama?
Coverama.
Coverama.
Coverama. Coverama. Coverama. Coverama. It chronicles the game's origins, and he said, in the way that they were, all in a shared collective memory, they were like a meme almost. Right? And that's from Coverama. Get the book, everybody.
Did you read this book?
Oh, cover to cover. Well, I read the front and back cover. So I used a couple of great articles for this. One was a Mental Floss article called The Weird History of Pogs by Kate Erbland. Another one was from First We Feast called The Surprising History of Pogs, the 90s era craze sparked by a juice company by Matthew Deckneef. And then also, I'm going to say there was this radical video from 1994 on YouTube that I found called Milk Cap Crazy. Don't worry, folks. I got the clips for you.
So is the word, are milk caps and Pogs synonymous or interchangeable? I can use either one.
Yes, you can. And I will get into how these words came about.
I just have so many questions. I'm sorry. I keep jumping.
Okay, so before I get into the history of the game /fad, let's be honest, let me give you a refresher on the terms and how it's played. Okay, so Pogs, or milk caps, usually involves two types of playing discs, milk caps and slammers. Milk caps are typically flat, circular cardboard discs which are decorated with images on one or both sides.
How big would you say it is?
It's about the size of a milk cap.
Thank you. Continue.
Okay, so traditional or traditional style milk caps are made of rougher cardboard, are printed on limited colors, and often have a staple in them, as they appeared when they used to on an actual Pog bottle cap. You ask what that is, I'll get into that later.
Good.
Modern commercial Pogs were stiffer, thicker, and often printed with colorful, glossy imagery. The other equipment that is used is a
Slammer.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, a heavier game piece often made of metal, rubber, or more commonly, plastic. Lame, which come in various thicknesses and weights.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about penises. I'm not stupid.
Yo, slammer. They are typically similar in diameter to milk caps. You asked earlier what the size were. They're about the same size as a milk cap.
And what size is a milk cap?
All right, usually metal slammers are not allowed in some games because they're usually heavier than other materials, giving the player with the first turn an unfair advantage and have a tendency to damage the milk caps. Let's be honest, brother, denting was real, bro. So anyway, here is a young Pog entrepreneur explaining.
Young Pog entrepreneur.
A young Pog.
Here is Elon Musk.
Yeah. Here's a young Pog entrepreneur explaining how you can get your hands on some Pogs in 1994 from Milk Cap Crazy.
You can go to the swapping or the store and get a starter pack for less than $5. A starter kit usually has 16 milk caps and 3 slammers. When you start...
Right. You put it's an 8-year-old child wearing a tie-dye shirt. So Jonathan Taylor Thomas bowl cut haircut. Part in the middle.
Yeah,
sitting
bro.
on a picnic table.
I just thought I could bring the youth from the day to come in and explain. And what better way to do that than Milk Cap Crazy?
This was shot on a VHS camcorder, by the way. This is not professional whatsoever.
Oh, no. This actually, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested, I would say go look up Milk Cap Crazy because it is the craziest 90s 15-minute video you could ever find.
Folks, go click onto our show's info description. You can find the link right there.
Now, I mentioned earlier that one of Pog's downfalls was that kids were playing for keeps, which can be considered...
It's considered gambling, dude.
Hell yeah, brother.
Did you like my 90s voice?
Hell yeah, brother. With that in mind, here are the rules.
All right, Kyle, tell me the rules.
All right, we're playing for keeps, you hear? Here are the rules.
I didn't realize Edith Bunker played with Pogs.
Like I said, playing for keeps, i.e., players get to keep the milk caps that they win during the games and must forfeit those that have been won by other players. The game can begin as follows.
1. The players each contribute an equal number of milk caps to build a stack with the pieces face down, which will be used during the game.
So I put in 10, you put in 10.
Correct.
Okay.
2. The players take turns throwing their slammer down onto the top of the stack, causing it to spring up and the milk caps to scatter.
Can we share a slammer, or do we need to each bring our own?
If you're poor...
Sorry that your family lives in a van, Kyle. Guess you can't play with us.
Oh, man, why does your milk caps have grease on them? Oh, those are ex-pizza boxes? Oh, well, here's a slammer, Kyle. I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ, it's really rough for you. So each player keeps any milk caps that land face up after they have been thrown. 3. After each throw, the milk caps which have landed face down are then restacked for the next player. 4. When no milk caps remain in the stack, the player with the most pongs is the winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Except for Kyle. They'll just have some cheese.
Yeah, let's be honest, his family can't even afford chicken.
Poor Kyle. Sorry, Kyle.
The actual gameplay behind Pogs was actually long been attributed to a classic Japanese game of Menko. Menko, which has been popular since the Edo period, which is between 1603 and 1867. So a similar game to Pogs has been played since then, and it also centers on players attempting to flip the cards pieces of their opponents. Much like in the modern Pogs, the original Menko playing pieces were roughly the size of milk caps and featured images of Japanese cultural icons like wrestlers and warriors.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, right? So even back then, they were like honoring people from their, like, you know,
Their history.
They're honorable people, exactly, as
yeah.
as to ways of playing games, which I thought that was actually interesting. These pieces weren't made out of cardboard or plastic, but shaped from clay, wood, or ceramics. So in Hawaii, Japanese immigrants brought the game with them when they settled there in the early 20th century. So Minko came to Hawaiian Islands, and then the game of milk caps started being played on the island of Maui as early as 1927. And what that was kids started using milk bottle caps as Minko playing pieces, and so milk that was bought from the store, they would then keep the caps and then use those for playing pieces, so instead of throwing out.
And then because these caps, I'm assuming, had nothing on them, did they draw art on those caps?
I think they used to what they used to do is they would collect them by like the different dairies in Hawaii.
Oh,
so I'm sure.
I see.
I mean, I'm sure that
like there was a logo on it.
Yeah, exactly. So some I'm sure some kids used to write on it, but I'm sure there was just a little logo and not much art. But I think it was like, oh, you have this dairy one. Oh, let me give you that one.
Okay, cool.
The game started evolving, and after new packaging made cardboard milk caps obsolete in the 1950s, manufacturers such as Haleakala Dairy and Orchards Hawaii occasionally distributed the caps as promotional items. So when they stopped using them, then they still gave them out because they knew how popular they were with the kids. It's just kind of like the toy in the cereal box almost type of thing, I feel like. Now, when they used the caps to successfully promote the 1971 introduction of their new fruit drink, Pog, it led to the surge in similar promotions and milk cap collecting. Now, Pog is short for passion fruit orange guava.
And what year was this?
1971.
Wow.
It was responsible for inspiring a generation of kids to, in the grip of the early Nintendos, and all those game systems, Atari, to put their Game Boys down and pick up something and just go outside and see the original forms of entertainment before computers were around. The thing is that the name Pog kind of just left the company that put out the drink, and then Pog just started kind of taking on the name of the game, and that all started from a dairy releasing a fruit drink called Pog.
I never knew any of this.
So in 1991, teacher Blossom Galbiso kind of started showing her students this game that she used to play when she was a kid, and then that kind of started making it become what it was today. She favored the game because she believed it would help teach with math skills, and it provided pupils with a fun game that didn't require any dodgeball-style exercise that could potentially be dangerous physically to a student. Galbiso and her students started collecting milk bottle caps for their games, especially ones from the Haleakala Dairy on Maui, and as the game spread around the island chain, the Canadian packaging company that made the caps for the Hawaiian company realized that they were so popular, and they started getting inundated with requests for the caps because it started becoming so popular that, oh my God, let's just go to the source instead of buying milk.
We don't need the milk. We need the caps.
Yeah, we need the caps. We have a cap shortage. Oh, what happened?
Not a milk shortage.
Yeah, no, we have too much milk.
Can people that are lactose intolerant play Pogs?
It depends on what brand you got it from. If it's from the Haleakala Dairy, but it is one of those things where it's like, if you have a peanut allergy, you probably should eat some chocolate things.
So once again, folks, if you are lactose intolerant, please do not play your Pogs.
Check where it came from. I just don't want anyone to get hurt.
Okay.
Also in 1991, Haleakala expanded the more populated Oahu Island, which led to a revival of the game. And with this revival, the Pog name began being used generically for the game. So it kind of started becoming like Kleenex or Xerox.
Kleenex meaning I just need a tissue.
Correct. And I'm going to go make a Xerox copy of this.
But it doesn't have to happen at Xerox.
If you want the best work.
Obviously.
By 1993, the game had hit the mainland, first coming to rest in the West, before it took the charm across the United States, and then the world. In short, it dominated just like any good childhood fad should. Here's Milk Cap Crazy host Jesse Hine explaining it to you in his sick 90s style.
Hey, check this out, man. In Hawaii, the Aloha State, a craze is spreading like wildfire. The Milk Cap game. The Milk Cap game's not new. It has been revived to help teach kids lessons in moral values and cooperative skills. A teacher at a Hawaiian school saw two students playing a game during recess. This reminded her of the Milk Cap game she played as a kid. On April 6, 1991, the teacher brought in 4 tubes of milk caps from a local dairy that manufactures dairy products and juices. Boom! Then it happened. The kids played the game and were hooked. Everyone wanted to play. How the kids even named them. They named them POGS from the acronym of passion fruit, orange, and guava, the 3 types of juices produced at the local dairy. News of this craze spread fast, and a local TV station ran a story on it. This sparked the first tournament at the school. Since early 1991, the Milk Cap Game's gone from that school in Hawaii throughout the United States to as far as Japan, and it's expected to go worldwide.
You have to see this video, folks. This
you.
literally looks like something Kyle Mooney on SNL would do.
It's absolutely.
But it's seriously,
yeah.
I mean, this guy.
This is the kind of stuff that Kyle Mooney was inspired by growing up, I feel like.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be. Can someone tweet Kyle Mooney and ask, has he ever seen a VHS tape about Pogs 1994? This man never stops moving.
It's so 90s, and like there's zoom ins, and then the camera turns left, right, and then also the sky is superimposed with the fuzz on a VHS,
Static.
the static on a VHS tape was.
I'm going to call this guy Kyle Mooney Jr. So Kyle Mooney
Or
Jr.
Jesse Hine.
Oh, sorry, Jesse Hyde. Sorry, Jesse Hyde. You know that Jesse's little brother had to hold the camera for him.
Jesse's little brother is the kid that's on the table explaining Pogs with the tie-dye shirt.
want to be in the movie too, Jesse.
He's also the cinematographer.
And you know they're just like, what does this button do? What does that button do?
Yeah, the local library had a camera that I could rent, so... Cowabunga, dude.
Hey friends, hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, could you do us a favor? After you listen to today's episode, open up your podcast app and leave us a review. Please. The more reviews we get, the more people will discover us, and the more people that discover us, the less lost we'll feel.
You're good, buddy. It's okay. Look, nothing has ever been easier to do. Just go ahead and grab a pen real quick. It's okay. We'll wait. Don't worry.
Okay, head on over to your podcast app, click those 3 dots in the lower right-hand corner, click Go to Show, scroll down till you see ratings and reviews, then leave us some stars and a comment or two so our parents know that it was worth all the tuition that they spent.
And if you really love us, head on over to patreon.com and send us some money, and in return, you will get access to merch, special episodes, bonus content, pictures of me shirtless.
Okay, that's patreon.com. Search This Was a Thing and help us out. But you know what? You've already helped us out today by listening to us, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate that, so thank you.
Thank you. As the Pog craze grew on the islands, a forward-thinking businessman named Alan Rapinski snatched up the Pog trademark from the Haleakala Dairy and founded a little something called the World Pog Federation. Like I said earlier, Pogs are like the Kleenex, Windex, Xerox, or chapstick of the toy world. Not all Pog pieces are genuine Pogs. So I just want our listeners to be aware that you may be playing with some fake Pogs out there, but everyone still called them Pogs anyway. All thanks to the WPF, the World Pog Federation, baby.
WPF, is that real?
Let me tell you how real it was. This niche industry was once projected to be worth, guess how much?
$1 million.
$500 million was the projection one time for Pogs.
Wow. So I'm off by a couple of numbers.
Yeah.
My Excel sheet is not working.
The WPF started up tournaments, minted their own mascot, Pogman, obviously, and decorated their Pog products with snazzy-looking graphics. Often pop-culturally relevant images just to make them even more irresistible to consumer kids.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. As Pogs caught on across the country and the world, they became the go-to delivery service for all kinds of images. Bill Clinton even got a Pog with his face on it.
The president?
The President of the United States. Now, some Pogs had a little bit more of a message to them. There were some that liked to tout drug prevention programs and fire safety, or ones that made you advertise charitable organizations. If you could shrink an image or a logo down to the size of a milk cap, and that's about the size of a Pog,
Thank you so much.
you could put it on a Pog, which is around a milk cap diameter. Now, Pogs were readily available for purchase at toy stores or comic book shops. You could go anywhere. You get the tubes you could put them in. But they also were always given away with a solid promotional item. Plenty of fast foods got in on this. There were McDonald's, Del Taco, Taco Bell, Burger King, pretty much any other big food chain because it was easy to make and throw into the kids' meal. Other products that were also turned into Pogs for tiny ad space, let's just say Disneyland to Knott's Berry Farm to Nintendo to Kool-Aid. Everyone had Pogs and everyone could advertise on them. Hell yeah, brother. It was a genuine phenomenon and one that didn't even require gameplay for enjoyment. By 1994, 350 million Pogs had already been sold nationwide, and in the state of California alone, Pog sales generated $10 million a week. And mind you, this was pretty much 94, 95. Like, they weren't not that big for much longer than that. Dare, remember Dare? That zeroed in on the American kids' addiction to Pogs. So don't get addicted to things. Here are a bunch of Pogs.
Brilliant.
Also, when Pope John Paul II visited New Jersey in 1995, the Roman Catholic Church ordered 50,000 Pogs with the Pope's face on them to hand out to the parish's kids in the area. Now, if you were wondering what the rules for this rad game were, I know I already told you a little bit, but let's bring back my little friend to just explain you how the kids play the game.
So there's rules to every game. And before you take your milk cap collection to the street, you gotta know them.
First, you flip the slammer to see who goes first. And you each put a milk cap in, stack them, and you try and hit them. And if you flip them over, you usually get to keep them if you're playing for keeps. If you're playing just for fun, you hit it, and if you get both of them over, you give the one that your friend put in, you give the one that your friend put in back to give them back to them, and you keep yours.
All right, now that I've established that Pogs had a strong hold in 90s pop culture, here's a list of some of the oddest ones I could find, thanks to milkcapmania.co.uk for the list. Baywatch, Beetle Bailey and Blondie, Cheetos movie tie-ins for Shrek and Ice Age, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Star Wars and Doritos teamed up in 1997. You could get Pogs with your favorite Dynasty characters if you lived in Russia.
I want to get the Alexis Carrington, please.
Tons of Power Rangers, any Power Ranger, Forrest Gump, Free Willy 2, the Goosebumps book series, which had a collection called Scaredy Caps.
Oh, that's smart.
Interview with a Vampire, and yes, there was a Kirsten Dunst one.
Folks, if you've got a Kirsten Dunst Pog, please contact me as soon as possible.
Jesus' Crucifixion.
Who would want that on a Pog?
Whoever started with their collection with the Pope John Paul II one, probably.
Let me just hit the Savior with a small metal disc.
Judge Dredd. There was Lego.
Wait, I want to know if there's a Judge Dredd. Do we get a Judge Wapner? Judge Judy? Judge Reinhold?
Madonna. There's tons of Marvel from X-Men, Fantastic Four, and this is way before the MCU, so this is when they were still trying really hard. Pretty much every sports team from every sports league. Pokemon, Popeye, Snoop, Poggy Pog. Yep. Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Wars Episode 1, KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. And if you look right there, Robert, that is a Obi-Wan Kenobi Pog from the Phantom Menace collection.
Wow.
Yes, I actually have that still in my collection. There's a Brady Bunch movie, The Mask, and of course, a bunch of WWF. Not World Wildlife Foundation, Worldwide Wrestling Federation before they went to WWE.
Can I get that Dynasty one?
Yeah, let me get my friend Igor over here. I have a question for him.
Igor, good news. We got the one of Linda Evans pushing John Collins into the pool. Those silly Americans with their distributive wealth.
If that wasn't a good enough explanation, here are some kids from 1994 telling you about some of their favorite Pogs.
Are there any particular milk caps or slammers that you really like?
Yeah, surf caps, and this one that I have, it's glow in the dark.
Wow, so is that like a collector's item since it's glow in the dark, or is it valuable to you?
Yeah, I have a heavy metal slammer that I won in a tournament. I never use it, and I just clean it every day so it doesn't get scratched or anything, because it means a lot.
My valuable ones are the bad boy ones, and they're $100 worth.
Wow, what about you?
Yeah, I bought one at Universal Studios for $10. It's the Predator.
Okay, so these are slammers?
Can I just say really quickly that puberty is a really awkward age?
Oh, it's awful.
But puberty in the 90s seemed to exacerbate it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So let's get to the oddest of all of the collections I found. What was the big trial that was happening around 1994, 1995?
There are O.J. Simpson Pogs?
Oh, there are O.J. Simpson Pogs, and there are more than just one set, and it is telling of when Pogs reached their peak popularity. Let me go ahead and tell you about the 3 OJ ones that I was able to find. The OJ trial, Trail of Blood. This was an 11 Pog sheet featuring Nicole Brown Simpson, OJ and Nicole together, Marcia Clark, Robert Shapiro, and the White Bronco, amongst other things.
This is so despicable.
O.J. Simpson, An American Tragedy, limited edition Pogs, and that's just mostly old photos of O.J., you know, from his playing time.
Sure.
I'm sure there's some Naked Gun. I can't remember everything. And then there's O.J. Simpson on Trial Special Collectors Series.
Oh.
Caricatures of people involved in the trial. So imagine if Judge Lance Ito had a Sardi's drawing on a Pog.
This is the most despicable. First of all, if you're a kid and you're playing Pogs, how excited are you when you're like, oh, I just got a Marcia Clark?
Exactly. Milk caps were, you know, not just for kids, but for everyone. And to give this point is our young Pog kid entrepreneur.
My grandpa is an old guy and he likes to collect them because in the future they'll be worth a lot of money.
As I said at the very beginning, Pogs, they started taking over schools at recesses and lunch, and that didn't exactly fly with parents and teachers and administrators. For one thing, there were the tiny problems that playing Pogs was essentially gambling. Very good. Thank you. That kind of distracted the students, and that sparked recess scuffles, which I can only imagine. I never was involved with one, but I guarantee you there were some fucking
Over Pogs.
Over Pogs, absolutely. Schools in the United States, Canada, Sweden, Iceland, Germany, UK, and Australia all banned the pieces, which spelled the beginning of the end of the Pog craze. I found some really crazy prices for Pogs that you can get nowadays. Today.
Are they still making Pogs?
You do still see them every once in a while. I think that it's like with nostalgia.
It's a nostalgia thing.
Now 90s is becoming like cool again.
Got it.
There's a Jurassic Park 6 Pog hologram set with Slammer. So it has like, you know, the different dinosaurs from the original movie with a Slammer. How much do you think that six pack was going for?
And this is one that was created back in the 90s.
Yes, this is a vintage one.
$3,000.
This one at one point was going for $1 million.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
No, I don't think they got it, but I think definitely it was on the eBay. Like there's a screenshot of it. It wasn't still listed.
$1 million.
So there's one Stussy Pog. You remember Stussy?
Yeah.
$200 for the one Pog. There was a brass Slammer, which I guess brass was not very popular in the 90s because that Slammer is going for $80. There's a 10-piece Marilyn Monroe Pog set that goes for $1,250, and that's still on eBay. And I think I've gotten at least 2 emails from the seller telling me that they will accept the discount if I'm willing to pay. I think I got to about $950.
Christmas is coming for me, Ray.
Surprise. A glow-in-the-dark 100 Pog Dragon Ball Z set, $100. Holographic Yankee Slammer, $90. Or you could get a Pog Milk Cap Maker for $45. And I'll get into, if I had one of those, a little bit later on. Yes. I just found this great article from the Virginian Pilot in 1995, and it describes what it was like for kids to play Pogs back then. And this article really did bring me back. J.R. Broadbent, 14, squared up against Stephen Hansen, 13, one day after school on the cement walk in front of Pidge Pepper's house. It was 40 degrees. They weren't wearing coats. They played in the grim silence for a while, neither gaining an advantage. "Let's go inside, man. This thing's too addictive," Hansen urged. "We're going to end up dying before we win any. It's just as easy to flip them on carpet." "Carpet's cheating, though," Broadbent chastised. They went inside. 3 other groups of kids were playing there. A couple years ago, Peppers learned about the game during a visit to Hawaii. She introduced neighborhood kids to it and started selling a few from her Kempsville home. She displays a sheet of 6 caps decorated in Weiland's whale paintings. The artist autographed it for her while he was painting the parking garage mural in downtown Norfolk. This set is worth $100 now in Hawaii, she said. Wow. Broadburst and Hanson were stacking caps from another game. Put in that tropical storm, Hanson urged, pointing at the cap with the airplane on it. Yeah, right, Broadbent jeered. It's worth $3. $3 for a paper circle? You could stack 20 each or 2 each, Hanson explained. But most people don't want to stack that much because you lose money when you lose pogs, Broadbent added.
Ooh.
Pretty spicy stuff. Anyway, I want to talk to you about whether or not I had the Pog milk cap maker and more about pogs after this break.
This was a thing, this was a thing.
And now, this is a sketch.
Boom! And just like that, I win your Johnny Mnemonic Pog. It's your last in the stack. Game over.
Wait. Before you go home, I have one more set of pogs, but I've been afraid to bring them out. I was told they'll be collectibles one day.
Collectibles? What the heck could they even be?
Well, it's the O.J. Simpson On Trial Special Collector Series.
OJ Pogs?
Yeah, my cousin Kenny from Illinois gave them to me when he stayed at my house last summer. I got him because I promised I wouldn't tell my mom that he was the one who let the ferret outside.
I don't know, man. I don't think I want any OJ Pogs.
O.J. Simpson On Trial Special Collector Series Pogs. Look, I'm willing to play any besides Judge Ito and Kato Kalin. Deal?
This just seems wrong to me.
What's wrong is the fact that this sweet circular drawing of Robert Kardashian doesn't appeal to you.
No, I think I'm just gonna go home. Johnny Mnemonic was a good way to end this sesh.
Come on, dude. Let the juice get loose. Just one more game. I have a new F. Lee Bailey slammer I want to try.
Thank you. This was a sketch.
For me, Pogs will always go down in history as something that I was really into for about a year. But that year was so full of Pogs. Like, I had so many Pogs, and like I said, I had that Pog maker, and what you could do is you could get a photo and you could put it in a little round thing, and then the Pog, there would be a blank Pog that was sticky, and then it would just slice the photo and you would have your own Pog. And I had one of my dog Pup. I think I had my own Pog somewhere.
Did you ever have a Pog of me?
I didn't know you when I had this.
It's no excuse, but okay.
Some companies will still release Pogs every once in a while because it's an easy movie tie-in, but I don't think they're really to be played as much as more of a gimmick. And with nostalgia all over the place, I wouldn't be surprised if there was really a resurgence of Pogs. I mean, I know it's 2 different types of mediums, but cassette tapes have come back for people to listen to. So I know that one of Limp Bizkit's more recent albums was released only on cassette tape, so...
I didn't even know Limp Bizkit was still around.
Oh, yeah, and apparently they think that their audience is hipsters who would still have cassette tapes.
Hey, good for them.
So I don't think that they would ever be as big as they were, but I think that they definitely are primed to make a comeback in nostalgia.
Do you think that the reason that they faded away was because their target audience was being told you can't play with these anymore?
I mean, absolutely.
How are Pogs different than kids like trading baseball cards or playing jacks or marbles?
Because I feel like with baseball cards, it can just be like, oh, here, yeah, I'll trade you this one for that one. But with Pogs, I feel like it got to be like they were playing and kids get very aggressive.
And it was up for chance.
And it's up for chance and they don't know. And I mean, kids have a short fuse. I'm sure there were plenty of little scuffles on the schoolyard, if you will, that ended up, Kyle had to get sent home.
Kyle's not winning in this situation.
No, Kyle's the kid who puts down like 4 Pogs and still has to give a slam or 2. I think there really are a great time capsule for the 90s, especially like the super specific ones of the era. Like, I mean, I would love to have a Baywatch one, or if I ever go to the former Soviet Union, I'd love to get a Dynasty one.
I'll trade you John Forsythe for Miss John Collins. I will never make that bet.
Well, Rob, are you ready to give me a game?
First, I'd like to get you into some therapy to talk about this alter ego that you created today.
What are you talking about? I'm Jesse Hine Jr.
Jesse, are you ready to play a game?
Fuck yeah, dog. I mean, heck yeah, dog. I'm here on the big island of Hawaii. That's right. Melikalikimaka, not even Christmas. Hang loose, my brother. Hang in 10. Right here. Milk Caps, the game, Big Island, Lava Rocks, the road to Melikalihana.
Let's play a game, Jesse.
Hell yeah, bruh.
This was a thing and now it's a quiz. This was a quiz.
With Mark Schroeder.
Pogs, baby. So you asked me to come up with a game for the Pogs episode. And I was like, I could be clever. I could find something, tangentially related. Or I could just buy some mother effing Pogs and you two could throw down right now while I commentate to see who wins. So that's what we're doing. We're playing Pogs today. We got 20 Pogs in a stack. Rob's got 10, Ray's got 10. They've each got slammers. They've been briefed on the rules, and we're going to see who's the Pog champion of this episode.
Hold on.
Yeah, take that shirt off.
Why are you taking your shirt off?
I'm going.
Oh, Jesus.
It's aerodynamics.
This is distraction.
And the pants, too? Okay.
This is disgusting.
Oh, he's pulling his own slammer out.
Sock staying on. Sock staying on.
He has his own slam. I'm not going to touch him if he's using that as a slammer.
Okay, first slam. Oh, first slam, and we've got a ton face up, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 20 Pogs have landed face up and are now in the possession of Ray. We're restacking.
Shit.
We've got 12 Pogs left. Let's see if Rob can try and...
I have to get in the zone.
Rob with the Carol Channing slammer.
This is the slammer.
Oh.
No, nobody? Okay. My WeHo friends are going to get that.
One of the listeners will get it.
Okay, here we go.
Form, Rob with one leg in the air.
I know, this thing is never going to hit it. Okay.
A clean bounce and
A clean bounce.
A dent on the stack, folks. A dent on
In
the
all my
stack.
years, I've never seen anything quite like this,
Folks, I literally was able to hit the stack, but the slammer bounced into the air and nothing has
I have
moved.
been in schoolyards all around this great country, and I've never seen anything quite like that.
Well, I lull him into a false sense of security because he thinks, oh, this guy must be so bad.
That's like a magic trick. He's going to find a Pog in his pocket.
Yeah.
Now, Ray, reach into the pocket of the shirt you took off. What's in that pocket?
Wait, an actual skull?
An actual skull.
My skull pug. That's crazy.
Thank you. I am Rob, the world's greatest podcast magician. I wish you could all see it, folks.
He's a pogcaster.
Pogcast.
Pogcast.
Yeah. Well, Ray's a deadly man with a slammer here, so we're going to see what he can do with round 2. 12 Pogs remain.
Dear Lord, please help me win.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting technique.
We got a face up on the ground here.
I didn't flip any other ones.
Oh,
Okay.
just a single.
Just
He's
a
taking a
singy.
piece at a time. Now, have you learned anything from watching how he slammed, Rob?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I send mine perpendicular to the Pogs, and he's hitting it parallel.
Yeah, you were trying to insert a coin into a arcade machine.
Slot there.
Yeah. Wow.
This time I hit the stack,
Super
he
but they
did
all
slam,
stayed
but
face
No
down.
flips. No flips.
slow rounds here, but I like this is going to be
God,
like
I'm so nervous.
Did you take my slammer, Ray? He touched my slammer.
Get off my side of the goddamn table.
we are not going to do this right now, okay? The whole world's watching.
That counts.
A dud
It
slam.
counts. It counts.
A dud slam table
It
only.
counts.
Ray forfeits a round. It started with a strong burst, and now it's been sort of deadlocked. Whoa! A super explosion, Rob!
Okay, this time, turn him over, Ray. I got one Pog. No, I got one. It was only one.
Oh, he's got, okay, only one on that round.
That's exciting. You got one, though.
I did. I'm very excited.
I think it looks like there's 9 remaining. It looks like we've got 9 in the stack.
Just don't take my OJ's one.
They're all famous killers.
Okay, here goes Ray, folks.
A little prayer.
Oh, got one.
A single one here. I don't remember Pogs being this tete-a-tete.
Yin and yang, baby. Oh!
Rob's got one on the ground.
There was some. He's
1,
getting
2,
it though.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 remaining and a slow. How many do you have in your collection here, Rob?
2.
Oh no, really? Just 2? Oh, buddy, I thought you were doing a little better than that. I'm sorry.
Wait, now this one fell at an angle.
Let's
This
give you
one
that
fell at an
one,
angle.
buddy.
Does it
Let's give
count?
you that one.
You can
yeah,
have that
we
one.
can have that one. Ray says you can have that one. Okay, this is going to be the final round, and then we're going to see who's winning ahead of this. So,
Who's
Rob,
winning?
well, for now, we got one more round, Rob.
I'm going to have to flip all of
The
these.
table. You're going to.
I'm going to have to I'll flip the table, and they'll still land face down. All right, here goes Ray with his last shot. Oh, fuck me.
A three hopper.
How'd you do that? He literally got 3 flipped over.
A four. A hidden four. Oh, Rob. Well, just for ceremony, you can do this last slam if you'd like. Maybe you can get all of them, and that would be impressive. Remember, these are the pogs you take with you into the world, too, so... Oh, he's just furiously pounding the table. Oh! Yeah!
Wow,
pounding the table like
that was
Gorbachev.
awesome.
So this is the move I just used is called retrograde slammer. So what happens is I slam it, nothing moves,
right?
And then maybe 7 seconds later, the pogs just magically flip up, and they're revealed. How many do you have, Ray?
I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I have 6, but they're really pretty, and I really believe in quality over quantity. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
And Ray, thank you so much for teaching me about pogs.
Of course. Are you kidding me? I'm stoked to have some now.
So, folks, if you know where you can get those O.J. Simpson pogs,
oh, please.
Hit Ray up. He wants them desperately.
Oh, my God.
The holidays. Get it for him for the holidays.
It's just a piece of history. That's all. It's history.
All right. See you at the Slammer.
Bye. Thanks for listening to This Was a Thing, and a big thanks to the folks that keep this show running. Our editor, Daniel Cut Schwartzberg, our composer, Billy Better Than DC Reese, our social media director, Gabe #Crawford, our graphic designer, Natalie's Nothing's Too Graphic DeSavia, and finally, our games coordinator, Mark the Shark Schroeder. If you liked what we did today, make sure to head on over to iTunes to rate and review us. The more stars you leave us, the more love we feel. Hey, speaking of love, show us some social media love. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at This Was a Thing Pod, and Facebook we are This Was a Thing Podcast. Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. And if you really liked what we did today, head on over to patreon.com and become one of our sponsors, and you'll get access to special episodes, interviews, and merch. That's Patreon. Search This Was a Thing and support us so we can keep doing this show.